Welcome back to Rivals of the East, everybody. Host here, Buzz, with co-host Sean, joined by a special guest once again, Rick. How you doing, Rick?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Hey, we're doing good. We're gearing up for another AFC East showdown, right? With the terrible towels, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Man, and you guys, you're coming off a hot-handed win against the new single bachelor, Tom Brady.
Oh yeah, I think Tom had a lot of problems besides football.
He says, I don't know if you saw it, Rick, but he had said that it's getting really hard in the NFL because it feels like you're going on deployment.
Hmm.
Yeah. Sean, what do you think about Tom's words? I know that for a long time he was there in New England. Him and Bill got along, or maybe they didn't, but you think he was just having PTSD from his time there in New England?
No, it sounds like words of confliction. I think sometimes he vocalized things in his actions based off of maybe how him and Giselle felt rather than just how he felt. And I think sometimes that kind of merges. Um, but the filter is definitely off of Tom. Tom isn't the same Tom in New England. He
But who's
definitely
right?
says what's
Is
on his
Giselle
mind.
right or is Tom right?
They're both wrong.
Oh, get out of
I
here.
mean, they got married together. They both understood the circumstances. It's on them both.
I don't know if she understood he'd be playing at 45 years old, but
I, I, I don't, I don't think anything in that man has ever told anything in life that he wasn't about competition.
he'll stop playing football when they run out of
That's just how he's
avocados.
been. No, he said
They
when he
run out of
stopped
money
playing
in New
bad
England.
he said when he stopped playing bad, and unfortunately, that could be way longer than I think he even thinks because he's still better than three-quarters of the league when you look at Russell Wilson.
You think he's better than Mitch Trubisky and Tua Tagovailoa?
I
I
think it
would say
speaks for
what
itself. But anyhow, which actually you brought up an interesting point I want to touch on. I know we talked about it in our last episode of the Patriots Dolphins post game. It was kind of talked about Mitch Trubisky being, having that weird situation in the locker room with apparently him and Deontay Johnson got into it. And the report actually recently that I was able to receive said that it was an actual altercation.
Oh, Rick, what do you got to say about that?
So
I mean, that
that's
happens in the
kind of
locker room
interesting.
all the time. I mean, you have the don't forget Antonio Brown in Pittsburgh. He was mad when he didn't get the ball. He started playing Roethlisberger. Deontay's probably doing the same thing. The play calling's bad. He doesn't like it. He's not getting the ball enough, and Trubisky's not getting it to him. So
Yeah.
I noticed during the last game, Trubisky's target was always Claypool because Claypool was showing up.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to argue. Claypool caught the hard passes when it came to Sunday's game against the Bucks, and the Bucks paid for it.
Yeah. I think
Um,
Deontay Johnson wants to be that prima donna receiver. He's not that caliber.
yeah, he's not that guy. I'd agree with that. That's an excellent analysis there because I would agree with that. Um, Now, as in for the quarterback dynamic, how does that work for Kenny Pickett? That's kind of a weird situation going on over there. A little different than the Patriots, but somewhere on the same wavelength with what's going on with the backup quarterbacks.
Everybody knows in football, it's about one thing. It's about winning. If you got a
I
quarterback
agree on
that's
that one.
winning, he's playing. Just like New England. I don't think Mac Jones is ever coming back. If Zappy keeps doing what he's doing,
Hey,
Jones ain't never come back.
whoa. Time
Rick,
out on that
oh
one.
man. Zap
Time out
attack.
on that one.
Listen,
I'm going to call personal foul on that shit.
well, you can call personal foul on anything nowadays. But I think honestly, Rick, when you're looking at Dolphins play the Steelers and probably actually one of the better primetime games of the last 6 games of the season because we saw the Commanders and the Bears, and then we saw the
Oh, yeah.
Broncos and the Colts, and we're getting the Cardinals and the Saints this week. So primetime wise, it's not
I'll
too
take
bad.
that one. I'll take the Cardinals and Saints.
Yeah, I'll take that one too over those
Which,
others.
by the way, just going to throw it out there. It has been announced that Jameis Winston is probably going to be benched for Andy Dalton. I don't know what that says, but it can't be good.
It just means they finally realize Winston stinks.
Broken back and all. Hey, so Rick, Miami's playing Steelers this Sunday night, prime time in Miami. And of course, Dolphins and Steelers have a history of playing putrid games. As you
Oh
can
yeah,
recall, the infamous rain game that
yeah.
finished 3-0. So there's been a lot of, Brian Flores, when he was our coach, there was the Monday night game era there. That was just not a good game on either side, but Steelers obviously won that one handily. I think we were in the 2020 season. Um, Going into this game, I want to say that both teams are actually pretty balanced for the most part. Miami has the 8th ranked offense and the 28th ranked defense. And the Steelers have the 27th ranked offense and 27th ranked defense. So there's a little yin and yang there, Rick. But you guys turned it around last week against the Bucks. You beat them in a really hard fought victory there against Tom Brady and them. Do you think that momentum is going to carry over for you guys heading into Miami this Sunday night?
I think it will because I think the defense finally woke up. Because you realize we play without TJ, we play without Minka, and we were still getting the job done. A lot of those guys stepped up, and I think that's what they needed to do. I think it was 34. It was Edmonds. He was everywhere. Every time I saw him, he was in on a tackle every time. So he made some big
100%.
plays. So
And
I think they're finally starting to wake up.
I watched that game. I watched that game wire to wire, and I saw something I didn't see against the Patriots, and there was pressure nonstop
Yep.
on that Bucs O
He
line.
was in all the time. 99 put a lot of pressure on him.
And
Yeah.
and it wasn't even just that. I saw tight coverage. I saw they were only giving the shallow crosses on the inside to Tom Brady, and he was having to force that pass in there just to get something. So that Steeler defense, I don't know where they've been. They were there. They were there Sunday.
You think Giselle was calling defensive plays?
She may have been playing with those magical rocks. I know something about
The
witch
chakra.
voodoo. I don't know, Wiccan, yeah, chakra, whatever she does there, but something's going on there.
Rick, I thought you might like this. I'll have to send you a picture, but somebody photoshopped Trubisky's face on Brady's body with Giselle. I sent it to Sean. I said, "Oh my God." Well, I will say this. So I did see that Steelers game. There was a lot of people stepping up, making plays. I think Brian Flores put together a good game plan along with the defensive coordinator as well. And Devin Bush was respectable as well in that game. And personally, I think that their defense is clicking now. It's 6 games into the season. This is going to be the 7th one. The only thing is, there's a couple of big issues there. So the first one I would say is my question would be, can the offense score points? I don't know if you're going to be able to beat Miami if you score only 18 points, 20
Turnovers
points.
only.
You're going
They
to
gotta
have
get
to
turnovers.
you have to get turnovers, but I think you score 25 points, you'll probably beat us. The Vikings scored 24 and got the job done. But I honestly feel as though the question is going to be, how do they stop Tyreek Hill? Because Tyreek is setting records right now for Miami. He's got 700 yards and 50 catches in the first 6 games. He's been pretty much unstoppable, it seems like, for the most part. And Tua's coming back too this week. It's a big question mark. My biggest concern is, of course, Cameron Hayward's on the line, and we all know how he likes to punch quarterbacks in the guts and do whatever he needs to do. So I'm kind of fearful for Tua here. Teron Armstead is supposed to come back,
Well,
but he
hey,
probably won't last the whole game.
Don't forget about Devin Bush beating the crap out of someone in CBS. So that's out there too.
Wasn't that Bud Dupree or was that Walgreens?
No, you're right. That was Bud
What is it with Pittsburgh Steeler
Oh,
linebackers
my.
and pharmacy assaults?
I don't know about Dupree's in Houston. I heard nothing about Dupree. He must be making up Houston.
No,
Well, the
we
Titans
saw that
cut him.
video, and it was pretty nasty.
The Titans cut him when they realized they couldn't go to a Walgreens anymore as a team. So, but Rick, what do you think the Steelers' approach is going to be to try to slow down Hill?
I think it has to be ball control. I really do. I mean, to me, when I was watching that game, the guy that stunk the most, the guy I was the least impressed with, believe it or not, even though he caught a touchdown pass, was Najee Harris running the ball. And I know the offensive line's not that good, but there were so many times he just ran up there and stopped. They're like, okay, what do I do now? Like, he didn't try and charge or break a tackle or not. He just stopped. I'm like, why he was averaging 2.1 yards a carry? I know the defense was good, but he wasn't looked like he wasn't even trying to run.
Now he's had that issue. It seems like all season long.
Yeah.
So I
He's
mean,
not hitting the hole
Um,
very fast.
he could be hitting what I've seen before, as in Lawrence Maroney did it. You know, the pitter patter right before they make that break, waiting for the lane to open up. I think he's looking for the rushing lane, and he's not liking what he's seeing, and it's causing hesitation. And
Yeah.
I think that's why you're seeing the 2 yards.
Yeah,
What
I
I
think he's
believe it
trying to
was
overthink it.
2.1.
Yeah, he's trying to overthink it. I would do. He needs to just hit the hole and break a couple tackles and get used to it, take the hits. He's overthinking. He's trying to do what Le'Veon Bell used to do. He used to dance around, pick his holes. Le'Veon Bell could do it. He
Le'Veon
can't.
Bell was patient.
Yeah.
yeah, he worked for Adam Gase.
I was about to say that works with Le'Veon. That works with Le'Veon Bell when you have a passing game. That's
Yeah.
the difference.
Which, by the way, Rick, Sean and I have been following Adam Gase's post-NFL career. Did you know that he took the Lincoln High School football team to the playoffs with a record of 4 wins and 5 losses?
I didn't know that.
So he's even under 500 as a high school coach. So, yeah, it's in the paper. They thought about replacing him, but they're bringing him back. So thank God.
That's embarrassing.
He made the playoffs.
Well,
yeah. Anyways,
they offered him free pitchers at the local brewery, and apparently that's all it took.
Wasn't enough. He needed some of that white cocaine, that white powder substance. So, my question is going to be, my biggest thing is I worry about, because Steelers defense is coming alive. Obviously, this is a prove it game for Brian Flores because he's going back in there. This is the first game Stephen Ross can actually be at now since being suspended for messing up trying to get Tom Brady and Sean Payton. So he's going to be back up there in the skybox watching this game. And you have to know that Brian Flores knows that, and he's going to scheme. But
Yeah.
I'm curious, and I'm hopeful that, the only way they were going to win this game is we're going to have to learn to run the ball. We're going to have to keep the Steelers defense honest. And if we can't keep the Steelers defense honest, well, it's going to be a repeat of the Bucs game because Leonard Fournette couldn't run the ball at all. And it was a one-dimensional team. And if it's a one-dimensional team, then your plan of attack is pretty simple. I don't know. Is Minka Fitzpatrick coming back this game?
I hope so. That'd be a revenge game for him.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, that'd be odd. Minka and Flo on the Steelers sideline in the Miami Garden Stadium there.
I'm going to take a wild guess, and I'm going to say there's no chance in hell he doesn't come back.
Yeah.
At least
I
for
know
some
he
snaps.
wants to play this game.
Yeah.
At least for some snaps.
I think on your calendar, I think that's what he's got circled, and I think him and Brian Flores are going to be ready, and I think the Steelers defense, I think he's going to devise a plan. I mean, think of it. Who's Tom Brady? Brian Flores, specifically multiple times a year, he had the answer. Brian Flores, he's got his game circled. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think level that floors his head. He's pretty much going to cook. He knows Miami's tendencies pretty much. So I think
I agree with that. I think McDaniel or not, I think he's ready for this.
You think McDaniel's ready for it?
No.
You don't?
He's not ready for the ping pong table controversy. He's not ready.
Rick, did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, so Tyreek Hill had come out and said that he took out the ping pong table in the Dolphins locker room prior to the Vikings game so they could focus on the game more and preparation and whatnot. McDaniel was asked about it and said to him that demonstrated true leadership. And I guess Tyreek had come out probably about 4 or 5 hours after that when he was streaming on Fortnite and said, "No, he's just getting the table replaced. It should be a new one in there next week." So when McDaniel was asked about it again,
know what's going on.
The coach said, "Well, it is the players' locker room, so the players are going to do what they do." I think he was being sarcastic, but I don't know. But I want to give you the early odds before we talk about Patriots and Bears, because we all know that's going to be a barn burner. So as far as the betting lines go here, a couple of things here. So some insiders have said, one of them being the Arizona Republic, they're taking Steelers over Dolphins 2017. Now, I'll have you know the Dolphins open up as favorites by 7 points. That's a little disrespectful, right? 7 points?
That's because they're home, right?
I think it's because Tua's coming back, and the talk is that Miami is 3-0 under Tua, and they're 0-3 without him.
My biggest question is what time? What time is the game?
Prime time.
Prime time Sunday?
Yes, Sunday night.
8:15.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, that's actually a pretty big influencer because, what's typically the biggest Miami influencer is exactly what they posted against the Vikings. They showed the temperature of the both benches. Well, that's a non-factor. Prime time, non-factor.
Well, the last time we had a primetime game, Tua got sent to the hospital. So hopefully we don't have a repeat of this time. So
Yeah, it's going to be in the 60s that night.
the 60s.
Yeah, that's not hot.
I don't know if
By the way, it's
I
not
don't know if
hot.
the Steelers are ready for that fall weather.
And the Steelers ready for the fall weather. It's probably turning already up north.
Yeah,
Indeed.
it's abnormally comfortable in Florida this time of year, apparently.
Well, I would say this. Everybody's saying take the points for the Steelers, but Dolphins should win. There's a couple outliers. I'm going to say that Miami does pull it off just because I don't trust Mitch Trubisky. And I think that Miami pulls it off and they win 23-17 over the Steelers. I think it's not going to be a runaway game. I think it's going to be tough, but it'll come down to like a last minute touchdown, maybe. Who knows? Maybe overtime. But 23-17, I think Miami gets that because Tyreek Hill makes a couple big plays or Jalen Waddle. But Rick, what is your take on it?
Well, I always got to go with the Steelers. I think the Steelers are going to win like 24-17, only because I think they're going to do exactly what Miami doesn't expect them to do. And I think Najee Harris is going to have a good running game. I like the guy they have as backup as Warren because he's pretty fast. So if they can run the ball, I think they'll win.
Right.
They got to run the ball. They have to.
Saw shades of that in the Cleveland game on Thursday night earlier in the year where they were running the ball well, but then they realized, oh, yeah, Mitch Trubisky's back there. Whoops. So
yeah,
that was rough. Don't throw it in, Mitch. Just run it in.
And I figure Minka will make a pick and score the winning touchdown.
There's your prediction. Minka's going to get a pick 6 in this game. It's possible. I mean, if Tua throws deep, it hasn't looked that pretty. So tried against the Bengals in that cover 2 shell, then that's not good. Sean, what's your prediction of that?
21-16 Steelers.
Wow.
Because
Man.
you know why? I think we're going to see a repeat. McDaniel's going to try to go for a cheeky 2-point, and it's going to backfire.
Eventually,
that was a pretty dumb decision, by the way.
Michael Scott and Wayne Gretzky both said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
So you'll miss 100%.
If you're McDaniel, you miss 100% of those shots because you're not even aware of the shots that are even being taken with your own call.
I think McDaniel's learning on the job, and I think he's just struggling right now.
If you want to call it that, sure.
So I'm going to withhold judgment till the end of the year. But I will say I did look at our cap before we talk the Patriots and Bears. Boy, are we in cap hell. Sean, I was talking to you about it. We're paying Cedric Wilson at wide receiver. We're on the hook for $6.5 million this year and $8 million next year. He has 11 catches for 82 yards this season. We also are on the hook.
I'm shitting on Aguilar. That makes me put that in perspective.
Yeah, but not only that, but we're on the hook for Byron Jones. We put avoidable years on his contract so we could get his contract lower this year, which he's got 3 weeks left before he goes on IR for the season. Whoa. So he's getting $5.9 million this year, but next year he's supposed to get $19 million. And if we get rid of him, we're still going to have 15 in dead cap. Plus, he's going to be hitting against our cap space till 2027.
Yeah. The biggest thing.
This is a window of all windows right now.
The biggest thing is the cliche that I keep bringing up. It's all dependent on the decision with the quarterback. The money. That's the decider, I think, though.
I thought you were going to say that cheaters never win unless you're the Patriots.
Okay, are you my world history teacher in my sophomore year? Mr. Castle, who I also said
Matt Castle?
no.
No.
And that's exactly a shot I took. I went, wait, aren't you at the same lit? And he went, and I went, that's what I thought. I'm gonna get an F, so I'm gonna shut up right now. Yeah, I think the biggest incline to the Dolphins kind of cap situation is if they kind of figure out what they want to do with the two corners. Gesicki, whether he stays or not, it doesn't matter because it's a franchise tag. It's going to move on.
Rick, you want to switch GMs?
Oh.
I think that part is kind of like it doesn't matter. The receiver situation, it is what it is. Tyreek Hill wants his money. He's going to take his money. He'll move on afterwards. It's mostly dependent on Tua, like that evaluation of the season, which you guys know my take. I think you know Buzz's take.
Listen, I just don't think he's going to survive. Not behind this line.
I don't think it matters. I don't know. Like the actual point you're making right now is speaking for itself. It's the same thing people said from our draft show when he was drafted. It was all dependent on his injury history. And if he was able to, overcome those odds, he had a history of that. It's repeating every year, repeating. Whether it's concussions, his O-line's fault or not, the man finds himself in the same circumstance.
Rick, what do you think of Tua real quick?
I mean, I watched him play. I mean, sometimes he just wings the ball up and hopes to catch it, I think. But I watch sometimes he leads the drive and he does really well. He picks the receiver, he plays it, he takes what's open to him. But there's so many times he forces the ball when he shouldn't do it. Because he forces the ball a lot. If you watch him throw, he'll throw into coverage, he'll throw in down, he'll just pop, he'll be running, just popping up there. The guy's open, but he's surrounded every once in a while. He gets hit too often. He's going to start going to have happy feet when he gets hit enough. And you get enough concussions, you'll get happy feet.
That's what I'm wondering what's going to happen with this game. That's kind of going to be because if that offensive line, which, we gave up 6 sacks in the Viking game. 3 of them came from Zadarius Smith.
And let me be honest, it's not a bad defense Minnesota has, but it's not elite.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Speaking of not being elite, we've got the Bears and the Patriots coming up. Another primetime game. Boy, oh boy, the Bears are in prime time after prime time, and rightfully so. One of the most exciting football teams I've ever seen in my life as a football fan. I can't do this. The Bears suck. Patriots are going to wind up winning this game. Sean, how much are they going to win it by?
13-21, because I think that's all it takes.
13 points? They couldn't even score more than... No. Come on.
It's going to be like 28-7.
Yeah.
No. 13-21. The Patriots are going to do what they need to, get the turnover, and they're just going to run the ball, run the clock out, and call it a day.
Do you remember how last week's show you said, well, I think the Browns and the Patriots, it's going to be close, but I think they're going to wind up winning 24-17.
It was close.
It wasn't close. It was
close.
38-15?
Okay. 2 muff punts.
Yeah.
Kind of made a big difference.
You don't think the Bears are capable of muffing more than that?
No.
Are you doubting the Bears?
I don't think that's their issue. I don't think that's their issue. They run the ball well. They're going to keep the game
the whole organization
in check. No, I think the issue is they have a young quarterback who is actually pretty gifted, and they refuse to let him pass.
Now, that's the problem. I have a problem with that because you name me one, just one quarterback that come out of Ohio State that was good.
That's
Terrell Pryor.
He was a receiver.
Yeah,
he was best known for a receiver.
He started as a quarterback, but they moved him to receiver.
But that's besides the point. I really feel like Justin Fields, he has elite arm talent. He clearly can run. Maybe Mitch Trubisky could do that a little better, or Tua. I'm pretty sure that's what they sold Miami, by the way. But besides the point, the guy has the talent. That's not what I question. It's about the defenses. The Patriots, they're banged up. They are. It is what it is. They're banged up on defense. They're missing their 2 first starting corners. Lawrence Guy, yet again, out another game. Montgomery is a good running back. I respect the run.
Is he?
That wasn't the issue with the Browns. They didn't continue to run. They forced the throw. They turned it over doing that.
Don't the Bears have Khalil Herbert there as a running back? He's the guy getting all the rushes and all the carries.
They're splitting him and Montgomery a lot more.
I was about to say, Montgomery had like a $160 last primetime game I watched.
Against the Commanders?
But yeah, Khalil had he's on my fantasy team. He had 75 rushes, 75 yards. That's all I know.
Hey, so we don't talk fit. Don't you put that fantasy in here.
Fantasy
I'll tell
talk.
you something about fantasy football.
Sean.
Montgomery, he won it for me when it mattered last year, but this year, Minnesota blew it, and guess what? They won the game. So
listen,
that doesn't mean
your
crap
issue.
to me.
Your issue is you relied on Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott. That's your issue.
I didn't. Oh, no.
Hey, I don't care. I got Josh Allen. That's all I care about.
Rick's hitting 30
what's your
points a
record,
game.
Rick?
I'm
What's your
5-1
record?
in my league. I'm 5-1 in my league.
5-1? Get out of here.
Yeah.
How did you lose?
Well, I got guys on a bye, and I couldn't find able to replace them.
Oh,
And
so
here I am, just like the Patriots.
Like 1 point and 2 points.
And here I am, just like the Patriots, 3-3. I'm like, I pulled it out at the end.
Well, I will say this. I think I get where you're coming from, Sean, and I know that Patriots might be a little banged up on defense, but I really don't think it is going to be close. I think the Patriots will pull away in the second half in that third quarter.
See, there's a difference. I think there's a difference between the score looking close and the game being close. You can sit there and watch the game and go, I don't care if they're winning by 7 or 10 points, they're going to win the game. And there's a difference between, they're neck and neck. It's, it's 7 points. It could be anyone's game, but deep down, who's going to win. That's not what I'm saying. I think the score is going to indicate the game's close. I don't think it's going to be a runaway. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I just don't.
Which team think has the better coach? Bears.
It's not even close. It's not even close.
The Bears.
But to be fair, I think if you put that in most perspective with the Patriots, I'm going to tell you it's the Patriots.
But Sean, I don't even know the Bears head coach's name.
Let's put it this way. They did a ranking.
Doesn't mean he's not good.
You are what your record says you are.
30th.
What is listen, he can't be worse.
Are 3-3, so that doesn't say much.
Okay, but is the Bears coach better than Nathaniel Hackett for Denver?
Yeah, anyone is.
Yeah.
I am. No, I'm better.
What? See, Denver got.
I'd roll out of bed and I'd be a better coach.
Russell Wilson's over the hill. They got sort of bill of goods with him. They got taken to the cleaners.
I call better time management on Madden when I roll out of bed with 2.5 hours of sleep than Nathaniel Hackett. In fact, I'm willing to say I probably have better time management than McDaniel does. He almost threw away that first game against the Patriots simply because, run the ball. Oh, wait, maybe he knew his team couldn't run the ball. So maybe that says something about his talent evaluation.
Well, I want to say this, though. I know what the problem with Russell Wilson is. He doesn't have Tyler Lockett.
He can't cook.
No, he doesn't have Tyler Lockett. Ask Geno Smith what it's like to have Tyler Lockett.
Well, he wasn't using him early on, so I don't think that's the case either.
I think it's what it is.
You know what it is? Geno Smith actually surveys the field because he has nothing else to live for. He's willing to take the hit if it means him giving the open throw.
Yeah, but don't forget.
Russell Wilson, 3 memes in a row. I have snapshots of game-winning drives where there's an open receiver, and he's looking the complete opposite way every single time.
Let him cook.
He's predetermining throws.
He's got a throw already picked out before he even makes it. He knows where it's going. Exactly.
100%. See, Pitt knows. Mr. Pitt over here knows.
Yeah, I'm worried that
It sounds like Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only thing is Tyreek Hill actually makes a play though.
Yeah, no, he makes a play and he has the record-breaking catches, but it's not winning games.
Neither is your cat, Sean. But
that wins games over here. I don't know about you.
Cat
she tires me out and I give up.
How many times have I heard you on Madden say it's stupid cat, and it's just like controllers like pauses the game.
Hey, just the same as I hear the son touch the Xbox and I go.
Yep, that's right. So, Rick, I know you're predicting Steelers win, but I just want to let you know that this is a kind of a tough pill to swallow, but the Steelers are 0-3 versus the AFC East.
Well, that means I got to win sooner or later, right?
So yeah, fourth time's the charm. Wow. So I'm gonna say Patriots are gonna beat the Bears, and I'm gonna say Dolphins squeak out a victory if Tua stays healthy the whole game. I don't know how that's gonna happen. I'm just worried, honestly.
And then the Jets win the AFC East.
Whoa. You think they're gonna beat Buffalo? You think they're gonna beat Buffalo?
They've been playing. They got a lot of confidence going in, and I'm gonna tell you what, it's gonna be close. It's not gonna be a runaway. It's gonna be close.
Did you know they're the top wild card team right now?
No. Who? The Jets?
The Jets.
Yeah. I like Zach Wilson, the quarterback. He looks like he's durable. He knows what he's doing. So
that's what the women say.
You see, here's the difference. Here's the difference. I would disagree because the man's been injured in both seasons he started.
But their backup is Joe Flacco. How do you doubt that man?
Zach Wilson's better than Flacco.
You think
he
so?
threw 99 yards, Zach Wilson, in 3 quarters, and they still won a game.
Grit. Right, Rick?
It's all about management. It's not how you win, it's that you win, right?
Listen, I'll take. Did you see Eli Manning's career?
I was about to say, I was writing that last year. I was writing that mantra last year when the Patriots beat the Bills with Mac Jones throwing 3 passes until they got their clocks cleaned when they played the Bills at home.
Listen, that was funny when McDermott goes up and the first thing he says in that presser is, let's not give Bill any more credit than he deserves. Did you hear about the joke after that game, though? After the game, Bill Belichick goes into the Bills locker room and he, just says good game to all the players and the coaches, just being a class act that he is. Maybe he was looking for some playbooks. I don't know. But he was in there and he was congratulating them. And then someone said of the Bills team, they said, well, why was he even in there in the first place? You know what a Patriots fan said? He's used to winning there so much he thought it was his locker room and misread it. Bills. But then they got blown
like what?
off. So
I was like, what was there? Like a 23? Oh wait, a league record win in a division rival.
Why can't he win in Miami, Sean?
Why don't you guys understand that? You guys can't do it against Jets. Can't do it against the Patriots. Can't do it blindfolded. Couldn't do it with a Marino.
Hey, we got the fake spike though. Infamous.
Yeah,
Infamous.
Patriots also scored a touchdown using the same play, except for we won Super Bowls when we did it.
Tom Brady won Super Bowls. Patriots haven't been there. Patriots haven't been there since.
Were you born when they won that?
What year was that? Rick was born.
I was born.
Yeah. Ago.
Rick remembers.
50 years ago.
Listen, this jacket remembers. It's from that era. Okay, that era.
Much respect on the jacket. I respect that. It's classy. I like that.
It is classy. Yeah, chicks dig dolphins. But anyways,
maybe ride.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, That's going to wrap us up here for today. Big shout out. Thanks for joining us again, Rick.
Yeah, thank you,
And,
Rick.
No problem. All right.
And,
You're welcome.
Everybody, you can catch us out wherever podcasts are available. And Rick, you're out there on Instagram too, right?
All right. Hey, listen, I have one question before you go.
Yeah.
What in the world is wrong with Aaron Rodgers?
You should be asking yourself, what is right with Aaron Rodgers?
No, I tell you what.
I heard Whole Foods is out of mushrooms this time of year for his DMT trips.
I think Aaron Rodgers is just tired of playing with kids on that team. Like,
he's looking
college
for
kids.
moves on the trade line. Did we hear any trade moves?
I think
Or is that
Gesicki.
something-
I told Sean Gesicki's going to be a Packer.
Gesicki's going to be a Packer.
That's what I
That might
think.
happen. He could
What's
use
the
the tight
trade
end.
line? Isn't it today?
Couldn't we all?
Wasn't the trade line today?
No. It's 2
Yeah,
more
I don't think
weeks.
it was today.
It's
2 more
November.
weeks? It's not going to happen.
It will.
It's not.
Dolphins are fielding offers. We always are. In case you haven't heard.
Like offers.
Money and draft picks work.
Mr. Fire Sale himself, Chris Greer. Anyways.
CMC.
All right, everybody, you take care. Thanks for listening.